we're about to vibe code an AI app to surface deep insights on music streaming history, and we're going to try to do it in under 30 minutes, and we're on the clock, so let's go. All right, I'm going to paste my prompt in here and kick it off just to get things going. But we have basically two apps open here on the screen. This one that I just pasted into is Goose, the codename Goose, the AI agent that I'm going to be using to code this website. And here in the background, we have Cursor, which is just an IDE so we can see the files that are being created. So note right now that we only have 2 files that we're starting with. We're going to see Goose start to create a lot more, and look at that, it's already going. But I'll talk through these 2 files in a minute. Just wanted to benchmark at the beginning that, nothing else exists besides the raw data that I have. So, okay, let's go back to the prompt. I basically just gave Goose this kind of vision of this dream app that I've wanted for a long time. If there are any audio files watching, we have Spotify Wrapped that we get at the end of the year, or your Apple Music Top Played, to show you what artists you've listened to, your most played tracks. And I always get super excited as a data geek to see kind of my results at the end of the year. But I don't want to wait till the end of the year. I want to see real time, what are my listening stats, and also all time, looking back at my full streaming history. And so that's kind of what I asked it to do. I said, give me a pulse of like the total stats over time. I want to see a leaderboard of my top artists. And then also, just to get a bit more creative here, I mapped in all the concerts I've been to, which I've tracked over the years just in a Google Sheet, and converted that to a JSON file before this recording. But I want to track that somehow in this app, so I can have some type of a bucket list to see which top artists have I listened to that I haven't been to a concert. So again, no technical details required here. Basically just gave Goose the idea, said I wanted a sleek, modern, and futuristic vibe website, and it gets going. So it's understanding my data structure, starting to create a bunch of files that you can see here on the left. Perfect, and it's already starting to create the scaffolding of this website. So let's go back and talk about the data that we started with. So like I said, I passed it my full streaming history, and this itself was a pretty cool task that I was able to automate with AI that would have been extremely challenging before the age of AI, because I've gone back and forth with Spotify and Apple Music over the years, and so I don't have a consolidated history. And so what I did is I exported all of my Spotify streaming data, I exported all my Apple Music streaming data, and I passed it to ChatGPT and said, hey, can you consolidate this into a single file that would be useful for me to call in a website I'm creating to surface these insights. So I was able to aggregate that. It added a provider. So Spotify is my streaming service of choice now. Going forward, I'm not going to make any more changes, but at least now I can go and look at all my Apple Music history as well and have that mapped in here. So, and then for the concerts JSON file, I just had it asked ChatGPT to convert my file to a JSON, and it was able to do that in a quick second. So those are the 2 files we started with. It looks like Goose is creating quite a bit here, but let me take a step back and talk about Goose. If you aren't familiar, Goose is similar to any other AI agent like Cursor or Klein, but I really like it for its flexibility and its ability to use any LLM here. So right now I'm using Anthropic through an Anthropic API key, and using the Claude Sonnet 4 model, which is really great for vibe coding. Hopefully we'll see that play out when we see the final result of the website. Yeah, let's check in. It's saying it's copying our data files to the public directory so they can be accessed by the web page. So you can see here it's doing quite a lot. And if you're technical, great. You can come in and kind of look at the files it's building. Wow, it's already adding a favicon, which does not seem necessary for this website. That's basically going to be like the social media card. But really just going all out. The leaderboard tab, you can see here, it's kind of adding the different filters, adding some like toggles. the leaderboard tabs, and then now added the pulse tab, which was kind of the lifetime stats we wanted it to do. And then the concert compass, which, again, none of this code existed 5 minutes ago. We're on the clock for 5 minutes, and it's already created like a dozen files. So I'm pretty excited to see this thing, and it looks like it's already starting to create it. So, okay, let's check it out. I targeted 30 minutes, but we might end up at 5 minutes. We'll see if it works. Oh man. Okay. That is pretty dope. The pulse. Here we go. Okay, let's see if this is real data. This should be real data. Your lifetime musical journey at a glance, total streams, hours listened, unique artists, songs per artist, most active platform iPhone. Okay, that makes sense. Repeat listening. All right, this is where we're gonna be able to pressure test, see if it's okay. This is legit. These are my artists. Judge me if you want. I never outgrew my high school music profile of punk rock. So, Fall Out Boy, I've listened to 91 hours over time. Seems about right. 21 Pilots, Anberlin. Man, this is so cool. Okay, you can see my top tracks. And then, wow, this filter is actually pretty nifty. So, past 90 days. This is right. I've been very into Sub Radio and Hot Milk lately. Most played, most time. You can track it there. All right, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm curious to see how it did on the concert compass. Oh, cool. Okay, so it did. These are the most recent concerts I've been to. Rocket Summer, Dashboard Confessional, Judah and the Lion, and then already seen Live Tracker. Wow, that is cool. Okay, I'm seeing Anberlin this fall, so excited about that. I'll check that one off. And I'm also seeing Panic at the Disco for the first time at the When We Were Young concert in Vegas. So that's part of the reason I thought about creating this as well, is that's going to be a music festival with a ton of my top favorite bands. So hopefully after that I'll be able to come in and do this tracker. But I've also seen Angels and Airwaves, so it must have not pulled that in. Maybe it didn't map it correctly, so I'll have to look into that one. But overall, this seems pretty accurate. And I really like that it also just shows me my top 20 here. So, yeah, man, this is just like a personal project I was hoping to do. But if you are interested in this code, I will push it to my public GitHub repo and link to that in this call. But again, you just saw that I didn't actually do anything super intelligent here besides pass Goose my prompt. And it just did everything else for me. So I might continue iterating on this a bit, but we are now at 8 minutes and we have this pretty slick app that might rival anything that I would ever pay for. So yeah, thanks for watching.